From my earliest days, I was inspired by Shakespeare and great classic stories, and I really wanted to do these plays with the best actors and the best designers that one could find.
3 words to describe Red Bull Theater, I think would be bold, imaginative, and necessary.
Red Bull Theater is determined, mischievous, and fiercely intelligent.
Revitalizing and scrappy.
Invigorating, challenging.
Mysterious and spicy.
Inventive and weird.
Singular and generous.
Dangerous.
Transformational, redemptive.
Inviting, and it's just very cool.
I think it's wonderful that we're celebrating 20 years of Red Bull.
I love Red Bull Theater.
I love Red Bull Theater.
I have such a long history with Red Bull Theater.
The first Red Bull Theater production I attended was Pericles. 1 for 1, baby. I started when they did.
And that first production was really, for me, all about the power of storytelling and particularly the power of the shared active imagination in the theater.
He called me and asked me if I wanted to be part of a new theater company he was developing.
That first production of Pericles, there was something about the attention to the text and the way that it was brought to life.
I was called in to audition for The Revengers Tragedy, a play that I knew of. And I thought to myself, who is crazy enough to produce this play?
Who has the balls to do that? And that person was Jesse Berger.
A play like The Revengers Tragedy, which was a kind of potboiler of all revenge tragedies. Those 2 plays I felt like were 2 sides of the coin of what Red Bull could stand for in terms of the core of the mission.
A flyer came up there to Columbia that said that there was a company called the Red Bull doing The Revengers Tragedy. So I toddled myself right off to see this.
And I went downstairs to this dark little space, and I was transported.
So I had to make a donation to keep this work going.
I became aware that a heart was beating off-Broadway called the Red Bull.
That community really knows what classical theater is all about.
You feel that you're seeing something that's speaking directly to you in a contemporary way.
Red Bull Theater Company is producing these plays and reminding us of our humanity through time.
I find it easier to learn about my own journey as a human being and as an artist by listening to the voices of the past.
We say classical and people think formal, and it's just the opposite of that.
These texts still have more to tell us, and more to invigorate us, more to inspire us, more to warn us.
The Red Bull Theater in early modern England was known for the popular outreach, the gory, the violent, the funny, the bawdy.
Their intent was to shake things up, you know? So I think that's what Jesse's trying to allude to by becoming the Red Bull Theater.
When I think about Red Bull, the 3 words that come to mind are past, present, and exciting.
Demanding, provocative,
fun, and rewarding.
Joy, ideas, inspiration.
Innovative, daring, resourceful.
You can be unafraid to take on the hardest plays, and you know you're going to grow. You know you're going to come out a better actor.
Like I'd say, Jesse, I'm gonna make an Elizabethan dress out of shower curtains, and he was like, okay, cool.
I feel like I have a lot of memories of Jesse saying, yeah.
I've always thought, in a funny way, the backbone of the company is the reading series.
You've got the script in front of you, have a rehearsal, and now you just do it. And there's a different kind of excitement that happens when you do that kind of thing. It's a real rush.
Every time I do a Revelation reading, I'm like, can I do this play with you guys? This is so much fun. This feels so relevant. This feels so innovative and exciting.
I think one of the most important parts of Red Bull's education work is that they share with young people the value of these texts.
Students who will become the next generation, not just of performing artists, but also the next generation of audiences, of scholars, of supporters.
You know, it's passing the torch to the next generation of American theater.
Shakespeare in Schools program started out at an organization called the Shakespeare Society.
I grew up going to see performances at the Oregon Shakespeare Festival and getting inspired as a young person. And so it had such a transformative effect on my own life that I really wanted to give back in that way.
So I approached Jesse and said, would Red Bull want to take this over and make it better and reinvent it?
Being able to awaken a largeness of life that exists in the classics in a New York City public high school student is one of the greatest privileges.
During our first production of Pericles, a middle school teacher came to see our production, and we struck up a conversation in the lobby, and within 2 weeks or so, we had our first ever student matinee, and 60 sixth graders came to see our production of Shakespeare's Pericles, and it was, I have to say, one of the most moving theatrical experiences of my life.
The most special and unique thing about Red Bull Theater Company, in my opinion, is the real sense of family.
Theater is community. It's the ultimate communal art form.
You could feel the audience live through the event with you as an actor.
There's a sort of communion in the sort of nerdy endeavor that is investigating a lot of these plays.
It's fun. It's fun to do. I love this work. I love the people I get to work with, and the plays themselves are fun.
I love it, and I want to share it. And I want to make you love it too.
It's called a play. It should be fun. And I think Jesse brings such a spirit of fun to this organization.
The image of Michael Urie hanging off the balcony at the intermission of Government Inspector might say it all in terms of what life is like at Red Bull Theater.
It's serious business, but that doesn't mean you can't have a good time doing it. And you can experience it at the celebrations that they have, the fundraisers.
Those galas rock. I love the galas, and you never know what's going to happen. Someone sitting next to you just jumps up and starts, you know.
Let's dive in and see what happens. And when you dive in and see what happens, stuff happens.
And that's a particular pleasure of seeing almost repertory theater with a group of actors that come back.
The audiences and patrons of Red Bull Theater really get to know the artists who participate with us.
3 words. Well, one is quality. The other's passion. And I suppose the third has to be dedication.
Jesse Berger, awesome.
I have a lot of admiration for starting a company and running a company. It's so hard. And he's been doing it so well for so long.
Jesse doesn't take no for an answer. And that's one of the qualities one needs in this city and this profession.
If any theater is going to be around in 20 years, I sure hope it's Red Bull.
I wish Red Bull at least another 20 years.
The only thing I hope more than anything is that Red Bull continues to fight the good fight, which is tell these stories.
In the next 20 years, I hope there's a lot of parts for old ladies.
I hope it gets ever more funders so that it can do even more shows per year.
More readings, more productions, more conversations, more outreach.
Keep driving forward and welcoming in new voices and new talents.
More new, young, emerging voices at the head of the artistic table, more new directors coming in, more new designers coming in.
In the next 20 years, I'll continue to pitch ideas to Jesse, and eventually he'll do one. What do I have to do, Jesse? Huh? I was in the Government Inspector for you. That was a big hit. Put the theater in the black.
So I want to thank Jesse and everyone at Red Bull for what you've built.
I am so impressed with everything you do, and I'm looking forward to the next 20 years.
Congratulations on the fantastic first 20 years. It's really an incredible accomplishment.
I should give the Red Bull Theater Company an award, you know?
All of us actors in New York City are so grateful to have been a part of your company and to have the challenges that you provide for all of us.
I am so proud of what you've accomplished, and the way you've accomplished it, and the friends that you've made, and the supporters along the way. We are beholden to you, and we expect a great deal from your next 20 years.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations on 20 years.
20 years, congratulations.
Here's to 20 more.
Kudos and congratulations.
20 more, and then 20 more.
Congratulations.
More power to you.
Way to go.
Here's to the next 20 years.
And what a gift you've given to New York City.
Congratulations.
I'm looking forward to the next 20 years.
I just can't wait to see what comes.
You are extraordinary. Go for it. Get the money.
The next 100 years, I got you.
I love you, Jesse.
It's a great theater. You run a great joint. I've had a lot of fun at it. Someday I'll figure out why it's called Red Bull.
We are all so grateful for this home that we can call Red Bull Theater.
Here's to 20 more.